All right, y'all. We got to talk about this Sonya Massey situation. The body cam footage just came out. It's absolutely crazy. I don't know if you've seen it yet. She rebukes him in the name of Jesus. And then he f***s on her. It's absolutely insane. And then after the fact, he's mocking her. He's mocking the fact that she tried to rebuke him. Shows no remorse. Her body is laying there. He declines his partner's attempt to go get a medical kit and then continues to call her out of her name after she has already been deceased. So let me play this video. I'll play what I can, and then we'll read a little bit of articles and we'll have a conversation, all right?
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have that stack right there, maybe?
Okay. 1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Okay. So she calls the cops. She called the cops because she suspected an intruder around her property. I don't know the exact details, but she was the one that initiated contact because she was fearful of somebody attempting to break into her house. They're asking her to get her ID. She can't find her ID. One of the officers noticed a pot of boiling water. She's probably trying to cook dinner or something. She forgets the pot was on. The officer instructs her to go over there to turn it off and jokingly says, "We don't need the house burning down right now." Something along that lines, right? She goes over there as instructed to turn off the pot of boiling water. The officers feel threatened. They take a step back. Sonya notices and says, "Why are you backing up? Where are you going?" Let's continue.
Your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in the face.
She said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Because she said, "Where are you going?" They started backing up. They started reaching. She says, "Where are you going?" They both say, "Away from you and your hot boiling pot of water." But y'all just told her to go over there. So if you perceive the boiling pot of water to be a weapon, a threat to your life, why wouldn't you just walk over there and simply turn the stove off and then continue having the conversation and allow her to find her ID? So Sonya picks up on it and she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." The officer says, "Huh?" And she says it again, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." The officer says, "No, you're effing not. I'll shoot you in the face." And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. Now, I'm going to show you a different angle because I can't show any more of that clip because literally what happens is he does exactly what he said he was going to do. And it's interesting because I'm going to show you this angle of it. She's reaching for the pot as instructed. She apologizes for saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," because clearly she sees how the demon responds in anger. She apologizes. She puts her hands up, still gets in the face. I think it entered through her eye socket, out her neck. The bullet. Let me show you this angle.
She grabs the silver pot with red and white cooking mittens.
She said, "I'm sorry."
Pot. Her
Hands are up. Her hands are up. She said, "I'm sorry." Her hands are up. She said, "I'm sorry," because she notices that he got offended by the "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus" statement. And when I first watched it, I kind of felt like, did he hear what she was saying? Because I don't know how he took that to be so offensive. But then in the next clip I'm about to show you, he heard exactly what she said.
In the air.
She puts her hands, did you see what happened? She puts her hands in the air and crouches all the way down. Her hands are in the air.
Are in the air.
She's crouching all the way down. They still shoot her. Top down, boom. Execution.
She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water. That's what all this is. I was standing right here. All right. And that's where she's landed.
What do you all need from us?
Just nothing right now. Just hang out there for me. Thank you.
I need currency to the around the house if you guys can. But other than that, that's I think it.
Anything else suspect?
Me.
I didn't know I have it.
You got any questions?
Yeah, I'm good. It's crazy.
He said the F&B is crazy. She's literally dead, bro. She's literally dead, bro. You still feel the need to call her out of her name? When she passed away, she's...
Who's got tape?
I think I got a roll.
I got some coming up.
You got enough? If not, I got a roll.
Running across the front here. What do you want it?
I just around the house. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water. That's what all this is. I was standing right here. All right. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water. That's what all this is. I was standing right here. All right.
Well, clearly, as we saw, she did not come at him with a pot of boiling water. Right?
She grabs the silver pot with red and white cooking mittens.
It looks like she's dumping it into the sink. The sink is right there. It looks like she's dumping the water into the sink. That's the pot.
Her hands are
Her hands are in the air. So she didn't come at you with a pot of boiling water. So what was the threat?
in the air.
She's making herself smaller. She has her hands in the air, making herself smaller. She's making herself even less threatening. So what was the threat? What was the threat?
Time. So let's do an ID.
The water?
Yeah.
What was the threat?
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Right there. That was the threat. That was his perceived threat.
You in the name of
You better. That's where I got.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That was the perceived threat. That's why she lost her life. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then after the fact, let me see if I can show you this part. Hold on. She's down at this point. At this point, she's down. Hold on. I think she's down at this point.
Bring EMS now. We got a head wound to the female. Head wound to the female. 1078.
I was on.
His body cam wasn't on. The officer who shot his body cam wasn't on. His partner's was on. That's why he was confirming that he was on.
I'm gonna go get my kit. Not yet. Bitch, you're actually done.
He said, his partner said, I'm gonna go get my med kit. The dude said, nah, he said, F that, she's done. You don't need to get the med kit, she's done. Can somebody tell me why else she would have been killed? Besides the fact that she rebuked him in the name of Jesus. And that demon that was residing within him did not take kindly to that and decided to take her life. Somebody give me a different interpretation of the situation in the comments, because it's clear as day. It's clear as day. Now, charges were filed. Charges were filed against the Illinois deputy in the death of Sonya Massey. A review of the investigation, including body cam video, did not find the use of deadly force justified by the county state attorney. It said that Illinois sheriff's deputy has been charged with murder in the fatal shooting of a 36-year-old woman who had called authorities over concerns about a prowler, officer said Wednesday. Sonya Massey was killed inside her home after Sangamon County deputies responded to her 911 call around 12:50 a.m. on July 6. County State Attorney John Milhiser said in a statement, Deputy Sean Grayson was arrested on charges of first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. His statement does not detail the circumstances that preceded the shooting at Massey's home in Springfield. The case was first evaluated under Illinois law for the use of deadly force, he said. A review of the Illinois State Police investigation, including the body-worn camera footage, does not support a finding that Deputy Sean Grayson was justified in his use of deadly force. Jim Almond said preliminary findings of an autopsy shows Massey died from a gunshot wound to the head. According to Milhiser, the investigation was conducted in an expedited time frame. The case was presented to a grand jury that returned a 5-count indictment Wednesday. Grayson was in custody awaiting his first court appearance Thursday afternoon. Sheriff Jack Campbell said Grayson had been fired. It is clear that the deputy did not act as trained or in accordance with our standards, Campbell said in a statement posted on the agency's Facebook. He added, with our badge, we accept enormous responsibility, and if that responsibility is abused, there should be consequences. Donna Massey mourns as she attends a protest rally July 12th in Springfield, Illinois, over the death of her daughter Sonya Massey. I can't even talk, bro. Over the death of her daughter, Sonya Massey. It's terrible. It's heartbreaking. Parents should never have to bury their children. It's terrible. It's terrible. Statement from Vice President Kamala Harris. She basically the president. Has anyone seen Biden? Since he dropped out the race, I don't even know if this dude is even... I don't even know where he is. So Kamala said Sonya Massey deserved to be safe. After she called the police for help, she was tragically killed in her own home at the hands of a responding officer, sworn to protect and serve. Doug and I send strength and prayers to Sonya's family and friends. We join them in the grieving of her senseless death. Our thoughts are also with the communities across our nation whose calls for help are often met with suspicion, distrust, and even violence. The disturbing footage released yesterday confirms what we know from the lived experience of so many. We have so much work to do to ensure that our justice system fully lives up to its name. I join President Biden in commending the swift action of the state's attorney office in calling on Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, a bill that I co-authored in the Senate. In this moment, in the honor of Sonya's memory and the memory of so many more whose names we may never know, we must come together to achieve meaningful reforms that advance the community and the safety of the communities. So I don't know what the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, I don't know all of what entails under that act. But this is and it's always been spiritual warfare. So, you know, we could pass all the policing acts that we want to pass, and we can do all the, you know, reforms and defunding and everything that is being proposed. We can do all of that stuff. It's not going to fix anything until you address the root cause of what's going on here. And the root cause is deeply spiritual. And this is one of the first times where we see that front and center, where we see how obviously spiritual it is. And I think we need to address the spiritual aspect of it, because that is the root concern of it, in my opinion. It's terrible. Praying for her family. Praying for her friends. Praying for this country, really. You know, because oftentimes the enemy wants to use stories like this, and the enemy wants to use tragic events like this in order to cause further division amongst us. But we have to understand that this is spiritual warfare. It's clear as day. We need to use these as opportunities to come together, to pray for one another, to lean on each other, and not be pulled further into violence. So let me know what y'all think about this story. Get in my comments, like this video if you want to support the channel. I'm out, y'all.